If you Google questions to ask your real estate agent, this is what's going to come up on that list. Hey everyone, I'm Rich Dallas, Berkshire Hathaway, the Dallas-Fincham team, and on today's episode of Q&A Sunday, I'm going to tackle a long list of questions that a client asked me to answer about myself. And basically, he straight out said, I Googled questions to ask my real estate agent. So I'm going to rapid fire them. And this is for all of my agents that watch this, so you know what you should say, as well as all the clients who are watching this. So now you know a little bit more about me and my team. So I'm just going to rapid fire again. We're going to just kind of go through all of these questions real quick. And if you have a specific question about any one of these questions, or you want to dive a little bit deeper, reach out to me, reach out to someone on the team. My name's Rich. You already know my name. You're watching my show. All right. My number is 412-965-6387. Let's jump into those questions. One, he asked, are you a full-time real estate agent? Yes, I am. Of course. Are there part-time agents out there? Absolutely. Do you want to work with a part-time agent? That's up to you. But real estate is a full-time job, and I think you need a full-time agent. List price to sell price ratio. Now, a lot of agents are going to be able to tell you their list price to sell price ratio is fantastic. And that's because they've sold 4 houses and all 4 of them went over to asking price. Fantastic. Good for them. We've sold over 100 houses year to date. And year to date, our list price to sell price ratio is 99.09%. That is bonkers. So that is fantastic. Just stats that you can pull from the MLS, very easy to do. And that's what our current one is as of time of filming this. How long have you been an agent? That's a very common question for myself. I've been 11 years, 11 and a half, almost 12. Sharon's been in for 19, almost 20. How familiar are you with my area? Now, that's obviously going to depend upon what area that person says, but our market expands from Greene County all the way up into Butler and Beaver County. So we have an extensive knowledge all across the area. Now, the other thing about our marketing, it works anywhere. You could put me in Philadelphia, you could put me in Harrisburg, you could put me in Erie, you could put me in Altoona, and I'm going to know how to sell your house because we have a system and a process that we do every single time that we know works, gets the exposure that you need, and is what gets the job done. Next, what is the typical price range that you work in? Again, now, if someone's looking at selling $1 million house and they're asking, is that your typical price range? Yeah, there's a small handful of agents that work that $1 million price range here in Pittsburgh, but that's not the bread and butter here in the Pittsburgh market. I have sold a $4.7 million property and I have sold a $3,000 property. Yes, you did not hear me incorrectly. Last year, we sold a client of ours a $3,000 home. It is now torn down. However, he bought it and the lot next door and the house next door for a total of $7,000. Everyone needs our help. If you go into the MLS right now, our average sale price is $276,000 because that is the bread and butter of, just the South Hills of Pittsburgh. I mean, that's where we're at. Most areas, that's going to be your price range that sells most often. Do we sell over $500,000 properties because that's what's considered our luxury market? Absolutely, without a doubt. Do we sell $50,000 houses to investors that we eventually flip and sell for $250,000? Of course we do, because I feel everyone needs our help. Next up, typical marketing plan. Now, that's a way deeper conversation that we need to have more specifically. So our marketing plan is extensive. Every agent should have a marketing plan. If you don't, get one. All right. Other professionals that you partner with. Now, going back to the marketing, one of the nice things about our team is we actually have a full-time marketing person on our staff. So we don't really have to outsource a whole lot of the business that we do. However, we do hire a professional photographer. So that is another person that we do outsource one thing to. Communication style. That's actually a really common question. Everybody asks, how do you prefer to communicate? And we let that up to the client. So if you prefer text, I'm going to text you. If you prefer email, that's what I'm going to do. If you prefer phone calls, I'm going to do that as well. Do you use e-signature? In today's market, if your agent doesn't know how to use DocuSign, kick them to the curb. Do you advertise on Zillow? If yes, why? If no, why? Again, if your house isn't on Zillow or Realtor.com, the two biggest websites in the world for real estate, again, why are you even bothering? So if your agent isn't on both of those, you should definitely have a conversation with this guy or someone on my team. Do you have a website? Yes, we do have a website. We actually have two. We have Dallas-Fincham We also have Dallas-Fincham What's my home worth? I get that question all the time. People will call me up and they'll say, hey, I want you to come over. But before you come over, tell me what my house is worth. Well, I haven't seen your house. I don't know if it looks like, the scene from the movie Saw, or if it looks like the Beverly Hillbillies mansion. I have absolutely no idea what it looks like because I haven't been to your house. And again, one of the other things people will comment on that question is my Zestimate is XYZ. Now, I know I've covered the Zestimate in detail in another episode, but again, Zillow has never been in your house. They haven't been in your neighbor's house. They haven't been in my house. They haven't been in anybody's house. So put the Zillow Zestimates aside because what we need is an actual evaluation of your property to give it a true value. Can you provide any references? That's actually not a very common question, but it should be. We have a bunch of Zillow reviews. We have a bunch of Google reviews. So people can look on there. But if somebody specifically wants referrals that they can call up, I have a bunch of clients that I can absolutely know that they would answer the phone and tell anyone how wonderful I am. And if your agent doesn't have someone who can do that, that's a little bit of a red flag. And last but certainly not least, what makes us different? I could probably do an entire episode on what makes us different, but I'm not going to do that because that's my magic sauce. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips because all the people who are watching this who are clients or are going to be clients in the future, I want you to know one of the things that makes us different is our support staff. If you have an agent on that is just doing everything on their own, from ordering the sign up to the paperwork to the die test to the home inspection to showing houses to listing houses to the marketing, that is a lot of work, and it is impossible to give good customer service and do a high volume of transactions. Now, some agents do it very, very well. There's a lot of agents that do it great in our area. However, I have not decided to go that route. We do have a team, so stick around next episode because that's what we're going to talk about in the next episode is why have a team, why join a team, but the other X factor that you have to take into consideration of what makes us different is me and Sharon. That is an X factor that you cannot, negate. It is, the years of experience, the marketing flair, the marketing background that I have, and just the knowledge of being in thousands of houses over the course of our career is just something that we, is just, it's that, again, for lack of better terms, it's that X factor that you really can't put something to words with. But again, that is the quick, super fast, rattled off questions of what this person asked me. And there were a few more that didn't really make sense of why anyone would ask those questions. But again, it was awesome to get those questions because it was just really insightful to see what people want to know. If you want to dive deeper into any of these questions, or if you want to see the list of questions that I didn't put in here that the guy asked, it was just awesome. But yeah, reach out to me, reach out to someone on the team. My number is 412-965-6387. And I would love to talk to you about buying or selling. And it would just be fantastic to connect. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Click the link below. Share this with a friend. And again, have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.